Hi friends, this is Venkat, an English trainer. You know, when we are learning English, most of the times we can hear three words: subject, verb, object. Because they are basic parts. When you are learning voice, speech, tenses, many times you can hear subject, subject, subject. What is the subject, by the way? And what kind of things we have in the subject? And where we can place it? And in questions, where you can place the subject? So this kind of questions we don't know the answers. For I am going to explain you these answers with lot of examples in this exclusive video. So welcome back to our channel Travel with 26 Letters, the knowledge of English. So what are you ready for? Let's get started. Johnson bought apples. You know, in English you can see lot of sentences in this kind of structure like subject, verb and object. Most of the sentences. Here, who is the subject? The doer of an action is called subject. That is, Johnson is a subject here. What is the verb? What did Johnson do? He bought apples. So, bought is the verb. It is an action word. It does something did happen. Okay. So, finally, who got the result? Apples. So, that's why it's called object. Friends, generally you can see a lot of structures in English. But usually most of the sentences we can see in these three forms. First one, subject, verb, object. Example, I sing a song. I is a subject, sing is a verb and a song is object. I sing a song. I go to the bazaar. I went to the market. I went to the shopping mall. So, if you see this kind of sentences, you have subject, verb and object. Most of the sentences you can see in this structure. The second one, he came. Here you can say only subject when verb. There is no object, but it is a complete sentence. Why? Because it gives complete meaning. It has a group of words. That's why it is also sentence. He came, she finished, she went, we have gone. So like this, we can frame so many sentences having only subject and verb. Birds fly. Birds is a subject, fly is a verb. Okay. The third one is come here. Here only we use verb and object. Sit down, verb and object. There is no subject. Actually, these are called imperative sentences. In this kind of sentences, the subject you is understood and it is implied. We need not mention especially the subject you. That means come here means you come here. Sit down means you sit down. So in this way we can see the structure is verb plus object. So most of the sentences you can see in this kind of structures. But actually in English we have up to 155 structures. Most of the structures we can use in this way. The next thing is the placement of subject. Usually we place the subject in different places depending on the sentence. Examples. I am going, he said. Who said? He said. What he said? He is going. Actually, he is going. So here I am going by inverted commas and then write he and then said. He said he is going somewhere else. So the real subject is here he. You can see the subject in the middle of the sentence. Actually, at the end of the sentence, not middle of the sentence, the subject is he and the said, the verb and the object is I am going. So it has inverse like that. Usually you can see this kind of sentences in direct and indirect speech. Second one, the captain of Indian team, Kohli, made a century. Who made a century? Kohli. Actually, the Kohli is the subject here. What is his position? His position is the captain of Indian team. So, here we are describing the subject in the form of phrase. That is the captain of Indian team. So, after using any kind of phrase and then we use generally in this way subject. Here we see the subject in the exactly middle of this sentence. Third one, he is having fruits. Generally, most of the cases you can see the sentence like this. Subject is generally at the starting. At the starting of the sentence, we have the subject like this. He is having fruits. He is the subject, he is having is the verb, and fruits is the object. You know, in imperative sentences, generally the subject is implied like you. Understand? That means you understand. Usually in statements, we have subject at the starting. At first, you write subject and then verb and then object. The statement structure is like this: subject, verb, and object. In case of questions, we write verb first and then subject and then object. We know very well such kind of structure. When we use this kind of question words, where, when, why, how much, at the time, usually the subject is between verb parts. You know, in questions, we separate the verb along with its helping verb according to its tense. For clear understanding, I am going to give some examples. How does he look? That is the question. The main question word is how, but actual verb is here look. The helping verb is does. The subject is he between does and look. The subject is placed between verb parts like does and look. So that is the question. That's why we have to write down verb along with helping verb depending on the tense. Why is she going? The question word is why. The actual verb is here is going. In between these two words, we write the subject she. How much does he eat? How much is the question word. Does he eat? The verb is eat plus does. In the between, we write the subject he. When will it begin? Begin is the main verb. Along with the will, it is in future tense. That's why question word is when, and we write it between will and begin. It is the subject here. Where has he gone? Where is the question word? Has he gone? So has gone is the main verb. The verb part is separated into has and gone. Between them, we write subject is he. Okay. Friends, next point is when we use who, what at the starting of the sentence as a question word, actually they are real subjects. Are you confusing? No confusion. Let me explain. Who saw it? It means some person saw it, something. So in place of someone, in place of some person, we use who. That's why who is the subject here. Actually, it is an adverb of question. What is going on? The answer is something is going on. So in place of something, we use what here. That's why what is the subject here. Got my point? So you can get full clarity when we are explaining adverbs. Okay. Next point. When we start the questions or statements or anything else with dummy subjects like there, here, usually the subject comes after verb or at the end of the sentence. Look at some examples. There is Ravi's house. You know, here the actual subject is Ravi's house, but not there. There is the dummy subject. For sake of framing the sentence, we need subject and verb and object. So that's why we place dummy subject like this there at the starting of the sentence, and then the original subject is, the real subject is Ravi's house. It is at the end of the sentence after verb. Okay. Here is your shirt. Actually, your shirt is the real subject. The dummy subject is the here. After verb, we can say real subject. Here is coming Rani. So here the Rani is the real subject, and here is the dummy subject. Here comes your question. You know, in some kind of talking shows, you can hear this kind of question. Here comes your question. That means you have next question. So here actual subject is your question, but for sake of sentence construction, you use dummy subject like here. Okay. So if you want to learn English with ease without having any difficulty and in an easy manner, please visit our channel Travel with 26 Letters, and also please press on bell button for getting my latest video notifications. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Take care.